All right, I'm back. I know it's been a while since I've done this. I'm a little rusty, and I don't know, you might be wondering what happened. Well, I came to a point where I realized that I needed to just stop. I was feeling crazy, overwhelmed. My mind was all over the place. I had a ton of stuff to figure out. After doing that, I finally realized that doing everything at once was like spinning my wheels and going nowhere. I just needed to slow down and figure out where I'm going and what I want. And it turns out, like I didn't already know this, that there are a ton of things that I want to improve on in my life. But when I start to actually look into what those things are and what it's going to take to actually get to where I want to be in those aspects of my life, it's going to take a lot of focus and effort on one thing to actually make any sort of progress on any of it. And as humans, we only have so much bandwidth, so much space, so much energy in our bodies and in our minds and in our souls to actually focus on anything. So if we try to focus on everything at once, we're completely exceeding the maximum computing power of our brains. All right, you literally can't focus on everything at once. So you might find yourself trying to start working out, start eating better, start a little business on the side to make some extra money. Then you want to start doing martial arts, and then you want to start a YouTube channel, and you want to start learning how to code, and you want to get a promotion in your job, and you want to do this and this and this and this, and you just find yourself getting stressed out, and you think you're crazy because you think you're trying extremely hard on all of these things, but really you've split all of your focus, all of your energy, your brain power into a million different aspects of life, and now you're not going anywhere. This is why I came to the conclusion that I need to narrow my focus into two, maybe three goals at once in order to stop feeling crazy, to actually make some sort of progress and some sort of change in my life in the things that I actually wanted to change. And I've accomplished a couple of those things already before I even made this video, but now I have about two, and I would say maybe three goals that I'm actually allowing myself to focus on. And while you definitely can get away with having three specific life goals at once, sometimes you can be stretching it a little bit by incorporating a third thing to focus on at once. I would say probably center your focus on two major things, and then maybe have a third, like tertiary type goal that you might fail on time to time, but it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world because you're still making progress towards the other two biggest things in your life right now. So I think the best way to structure this whole thing is to have one main goal, one top priority that you align all of your focus, all of your life, your daily habits and routines with. This is your life right now. That top number one goal is what your life is centered around. All of your focus is going right here because this is the one that you want to make the most progress on. You want to focus on and incorporate into your life, and it's probably going to be the hardest one because it's going to take a longer time. This is a longer term goal, but also it's going to take a lot more effort because it's such a huge change for you to not just fall back into your old ways. So this will probably be more of a month to month, year to year type goal that you keep track of over a long period of time, but eventually find yourself progressing in huge ways towards it. Then I think you should have a secondary goal, which will fit within the overarching long-term goal, but is mainly focused on progressing you towards being happier, healthier, or more skilled. This one is a little bit more narrow in scope, whereas the long-term overarching goal is a month-to-month, year-to-year type thing. This is more like a week-to-week, month-to-month type goal that you focus on trying to do this a certain amount of times per week or a certain amount of times per month. And then lastly, you have, if you so choose to take one on, your tertiary goal. Now this goal is definitely still something that you find to be important, and it will help you progress towards any of the other goals that you set for yourself, and will probably even move up the hierarchy at some point whenever you accomplish all the other stuff. But this is the one that you have to kind of be okay with if you slip up from time to time, because you're still making progress on the other two goals. So if you have this as some sort of hobby or something that you want to start thinking about, and maybe, planning for the future, and then like experimenting here and there with, then that's all fine. But like, say you just completely forget about it for a week or something like that. Like, it's not the end of the world with the tertiary goal. So most likely your main overarching goal is going to be the one that is the most static, because it's such a long-term thing, and it's going to take a decent amount of time to even see any progress, or to actually, finally complete the goal. But the secondary and the tertiary goal, those can be swapped out. So depending on what is most important in your life, or whatever your priorities are, or if things change, these ones are a lot more flexible, movable, malleable, because they're so short term that you can put it down and pick it back up, and you're not losing that much time. And then once you complete any of the goals, and it doesn't really matter which one it is, you can start playing around with the idea of moving some of the goals around. So say you complete your number one top priority goal, then you can start thinking about maybe moving your secondary goal up into that main spot, or even taking the tertiary one and pushing it up all the way to the top and just skipping over that second one. And now that you've freed up some of the RAM, some of that space, that memory in your mind, you can actually think about taking on something new. So for me, currently, my main goal is to pay off all of my debt. Like, ever since I graduated college, I've been a little bit stupid with my money, and I've been stupid with my money for a lot of my life. So I finally decided that that is something that I cannot be if I want to start a family and build a life, buy a house, have a reliable cars, be able to pay all my bills on time, and not be stressed out. That's what I want from my life. That is my main goal, is to be financially secure and literate, to the point where I have no debt, unless I decide to take on a mortgage. I don't want any debt. So I am aligning my entire life with paying off all of my debt. And then secondarily, my goal is to build my YouTube channel, start building my YouTube channel again, actually focusing on getting up a video a week and writing as soon as I wake up in the morning, and just doing what I need to do from week to week to make sure that I am progressing towards building a successful channel and getting out very useful information for someone like yourself, or even, to help myself with the issues, and then I learn about it and I come and talk about it. And then my third goal, I would say personally, is that I've noticed that I have a bit of a screen slash cell phone addiction, and I don't want that. I don't want to be beholden to my phone every single second and hour and minute of the day. I want to be able to just chill. And I know that working towards paying off all my debt, and building a YouTube channel, which will help me focus on actually getting work done, doing those things will help me in beating my screen addiction, because I'll be so focused on other things that I won't have time to actually, sit and scroll for hours and hours every day. So that one is one where if I do find myself doom scrolling, I get sucked into a rabbit hole for a little bit, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. As long as I'm not slacking on the other goals, then I'm fine with it. It's cool. But then I'm telling you, as soon as I pay off all my debt and I do whatever, and there's an open spot at that top spot for beating cell phone slash screen addiction, it's going into that number one spot. And I'm not taking no for an answer on that one. But for now, it's cool. And then for the rest of the stuff that, I have as goals that I want to improve on in life, I kind of just have to maintain what I already have in life. Like, I have to maintain my performance at work, and I have to maintain my fitness schedule, and I have to maintain eating well. But those things are already a part of my regular schedule. Like, I don't really have to think too much about doing those things. So they don't take up very much memory or space in my mind at all, because I already do them. So Whenever I have another open slot, I can say, all right, I want to build my physique I want to bulk up to 215 pounds or whatever it is. I can do that at a later time when I have freed up some more space in my head and in my body and in my energy. I can have the extra to put towards that. But I don't have that right now. So I have my top 3, and my top 2 are the main ones that I'm really focused on hitting and performing and exceeding in. And then that third one, I'll start seeing some progress towards that. But like I said before, it's not that big of a deal. And I just have to be okay with letting some things go, not even touching it at all, and letting it completely fall by the wayside. Like right now, I would say I'm not super focused on making music. Like I love making music. I made music from like high school all the way through college and after college even. But I just don't really have that in me right now. Like if I decide maybe one day out of maybe 3 days out of a month or 4 days out of a month or whatever that I want to sit down and try and mess around with some music, okay. But like it's not a priority for me right now. And accepting that will help me focus on what needs to be focused on right now, get something done, and then move on to the next thing so that I don't have a million things in my head right now that I'm like, oh, I need to do this and 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 this, and then get so stressed out that I don't do any of it. Basically, to say you have to get your priorities straight. You have to make some things the main priority, and you have to let some things go, and you can't really control that, or else you won't make any progress and you'll be, I don't know, stuck in the same place forever. And I definitely don't want that. So if you got any value out of this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, and if you want to see weekly videos like this where I talk about goals and improvement, self-improvement, and just about anything that can make someone healthier, happier, or more skilled, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of those weekly videos that I swear that I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post weekly videos for at least the rest of the year. That's like a big goal for me, and we're gonna see it through. But anyway, that's pretty much it. So I'm out.